see if that clears things up. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and take this down real quick. Bring in my co-hosts. All right, I'm here. Hello. Hello. Hola.
Finally here. We made it.
We finally made it.
Indeed. Oh, so excited.
Yes. I feel like my head's cut off. Kind of. Oh, well, whatever.
Just a little bit.
But
we knew that. We prepared.
Yeah, we played that.
Unless you want to lean in like this.
Stop.
I might be able to fix that. Give me a second.
Okay.
I don't want to be a distraction, so but I might be just for a second. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Up she goes. That better?
This is.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's much
All right.
better. Yeah, we got everything.
Shout out to La Jones for the plug on this this mirror. What is this thing called? A ring light with a stand and all of that. You know, it's adjustable. It's lifesaver. I love it.
Apparently, I need it too, so I will be investing now because
yes, and it was not expensive. It was La can send the link. It was like $35, I think, and it has like all these settings, and you can adjust it pretty high, and it's perfect. I love it. Hey,
I was
Ma.
trying to make a bootleg version. It wasn't working.
Oh, well, listen, I've been bootleg a long time, all through the pandemic, so I needed to get something legitimate. Yeah.
Hello. Hey, Reggie.
Hello, everybody. Hey. Y'all know we can sit here and say hi to everybody like all night, so
okay.
Let's not do that. But we will try to reach and say hello to everybody, like hello, Tap Man. And Jaquan, you need to stop using government names in the chat.
Right? That's his ignorant.
Already, Jaquan started. We pulled you in.
It's all right because I know Darren's gonna drop a government name here and there.
Oh, you know it's coming. Oh yeah, you know it's coming.
Is there like a leave room button for
yes,
in case
or bounce people out button? All right, guys. Hello. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to CitySeries Live. We have been coming to you live a few times in the past year and a half for various things. We have done open mic. We have done behind the bars, something that is now being done quite often. So we were happy to introduce that to everybody. We have done Ladies' Night 3 times. We have just, been here cutting up, having a good time, and trying to be an encouragement to the friends, and it's been working out great. We have met a lot of new people along the way, but we have never done something like this. This is not only an opportunity for us to put our faces out there and say, we are the ones that are behind this thing. We are the ones that are planning all these things. We are the ones that are going in our chat and giving each other a hard time. Like, no, that's not a good idea. I think that's a good idea. No, that's not a good idea. Darren has to give counsel on a regular basis, but that's all right. But no, we are the faces behind CitySeries. So we're just going to do a quick intro, and I'm going to start off with Deja to introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Family. I'm excited about this. So I am from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I just want to shout out Naptown because in the beginning of CitySeries in person, I was the only Indianapolis person, Midwest, whatever you want to call it, coming, and I felt so alone. But now that we have this quarantine CitySeries, I can represent with the Midwest. So happy to have everybody. And now I'm in Mexico. So that's me.
But you didn't even say your name. You didn't even say your name.
Deja.
No, you didn't.
Hello,
Deja.
Deja.
Yes.
Let me do it again.
Because I mean, I say Deja, but yeah, she goes by. And your stage name is Daylight, correct?
Yes, Daylight.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. La, you put that link in the chat, but I don't think we can actually click on it though.
Yes.
But it's okay. You can share it, and I will make that share. You know what I'm gonna do? When we post this on YouTube, I will make it clickable.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom.
Hyperlink.
I'm gonna be a real YouTuber.
Amazon store a lot.
Yeah.
We need an Amazon store
hyperlink,
from
that's
lot.
what
We got all
we
the
Hyperlink, whatever. You know how the YouTubers say, "I'll link it below." You know.
Just Mary Kay. Pro with that.
All right. Back to
Anyway.
business. All right, Darren, you're up.
Anyway, I'm Darren. Pop pop.
You sound far away, Darren.
I sound far away.
Mhm.
Still, yes. No. I asked earlier. How
Yeah,
I sound far
you
away.
do sound. Yeah, kind of far.
Kind of far.
Yeah.
All done.
Yeah.
Where were you with rehearsal? You were clear in rehearsal.
Yeah, well, I didn't have my mic either. Well, so hold on. So unplug that. How about now?
Better.
Better.
Yeah,
All right. So
that's a lot better. Mhm.
that's a lot better. All right, yeah. This is my first time actually trying to use the mic with my iPad, so
Oh,
because it didn't work. Because I learn something every day. But anyway,
yeah, pretty much.
I'm Darren. Pop pop free whatever term you want to use from Philly. Been I don't know writing probably I guess all my life whatever. Been linked up with CitySeries since 2010. It's been a great experience. We'll get into all of that a little later, but that's pretty much. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn a lot tonight. I'm very excited about this Behind the Family, event. It's for the past 10 years. This is what we've been doing, and with the hosts and everything everybody else that we're going to be bringing in tonight, they're gonna really give us a full glimpse of seeing what this is about. So I'm very excited about that.
Okay,
Darren,
so we
you
are
the
getting
best
some
of all
comments.
time, but that volume.
Yes. The volume is still low. I'm getting a lot of comments that say that it sounds like you're not plugged in.
All right.
And you don't have to be all up on the thing. Maybe
Get my,
get your AirPods.
Yeah. All right.
Those AirPods. I hope you guys heard everything he said, but he's gonna work on his volume. Get himself up and running a little bit better. So while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys who I am. Y'all have seen me around these parts a lot. So I am Esme, but I just want you guys to know out there in CitySeries world that the CSW family is ran by all three of us as far as the IG. So when you send a message and it says, "Hey sis," you might actually be talking to Darren. I just want you to know that, okay? Just be mindful. Oh, say it again, Darren. Yeah, you sound a lot better. Is that better, everybody?
There's been plenty of... That better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a lot better. We can hear you now. I can hear you better.
Okay.
So I'm Esme. I'm sure Darren will share my government name later. But I have been associated with CitySeries since 2008, and here I am, still in the seat and still with the family. And I am originally from Bronx, New York, and now reside in Memphis, Tennessee. So we've got the Midtown here, we've got Midtown Midwest, we've got the South, and we've got the Northeast. So yes, and we also have met many others along the way from all parts of the country, the UK, Canada, Mexico, and many other places. So we definitely have become an international family. So we're going to kind of do a few things tonight. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just spend a few minutes talking about kind of how this all started, like the whole history behind CitySeries. A lot of you already know this story, but some of you may not, especially if you're new to it. So I'm going to just give you guys a little insight on what it's all about, and sort of like the way it arrived at where it is. Okay, so 2008, I was running a travel business from home, and I decided to start doing these 3-day weekend trips to different cities. People said, "Yeah, we like the cruises and we like the all-inclusives, but maybe we just want to go to Philly, or maybe we just want to go to New York for the weekend, or Atlanta for the weekend." And I thought, okay, that's simple enough. I've planned trips to Brazil and Italy and all these places. I could plan a trip to Atlanta. So I decided to not only do these weekend trips, but I decided that I was going to involve some entertainment of some sort, so that when the friends go into the city, they can meet other people in the city. They can get to know the friends in that city. And I thought that would be really good. Like for widening out, we could all kind of make plans and have a little get together, and maybe the friends there would host us and they would kind of show us around, tell us where to go eat, things like that. And so we did. We started out here in Memphis, and then we moved on to Atlanta. We did Chicago. We even did Vegas, but it was like, 8, 9 people, 10 people, 12 people. It was a nice, humble beginning, right?
Mm.
So one day I meet this guy, Darren, on Facebook, and I say, hey, I'm planning a city series in Philly. I've met a lot of you Philly people, and I think it would be a good city to come to. What do you think? Well, I heard you like poetry, and I think that would be kind of nice to add to our itinerary. Do you think you'd be interested in maybe helping me put something together? Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, oh, yeah. So they helped me scout out a place. It was called The Reef. I met Tim, who's here, Tim Mitchell, and Darren and Tim became the kind of pioneers of this whole poetry thing. So we decided to check it out, test it out. I had planned a formal that weekend, but I think the poetry show had more buzz and more excitement than even the formal, right? So poetry show went off without a hitch, great success, a lot of fun. And then the next question, okay, where are we going next? So we ended up going to DC. So I met this lovely woman in Philly called La Jones, who lived in DC. And like I said, it was always like we were going to reach out to people in that city and see if they could host us. So I reached out to La because she was my DC connect. So I said, La, we coming to your city. We want to do a poetry show. What you think? She said, sure.
Absolutely.
So she went ahead and joined and decided she was going to help me by hosting the show. And we did it in a beautiful location. I had the venue down. I had the guest list. It was great. Everybody came out. We had a great time. And then the next question, where are we going next? So that became a thing. And so that's how City Series really got its start. It was very humble in the beginning, but by 2010, it started growing and going to different cities. And before you know it, we were going to New York, we were going to New Orleans, LA, we went back to Memphis, we went to Miami, of course. We just went to all these different cities, and it was always twice a year. And I think where the term family came from was the fact that a lot of people that are even in this room had looked at this as a twice a year family reunion. Because they were meeting the same people, they're meeting new people, and we were having good experiences. We were, incorporating our spiritual program into it by going to our meetings. Some would even find out where the service groups were meeting and do service. We would have fun, and then we would go home. We'd have all these great experiences. So that was pretty much the history of City Series. And in 2014, it really had gotten so big that we just, it had to come to an end because friends know that when you try to, keep things that big under control, you really can't. And the branch always gives us counsel against doing that kind of stuff anyway. So we just said, let's just bow out gracefully and decided to just do like reunions. We had a reunion trip to Orlando. We had a meetup in New York. We had a cruise in 2016. There was another cruise, I think it was in 2017. But by 2018, we all kind of were in our lives and just kind of living and married and having kids, raising kids. And I was a photographer now. I wasn't doing travel anymore. And it's like a lot of things had changed. And so we really didn't need City Series. Like we had the friends that we met. They were still considered our family, but we didn't feel like we needed it. I think that's kind of where we left off. Like everybody had their own thing now. So we were just content. And City Series was our good memories. And that was it.
Speaking of which,
does that sound about right? Oh, yeah, that's just raising that
the
one.
first baby of City Series.
Hi, baby. Lyric, look at you. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good. You don't remember this, but your very first City Series, you were like this big.
Wow.
You were really, really little.
Yeah.
I need to ask you a question.
I know we need new pictures with Lyric.
Yeah,
We need updated pictures with her. We have all
we
these
do.
baby pictures,
We
memories.
totally do. So, oh, and by the way, you guys can definitely use the question feature in the chat.
Yes.
We're going to be looking out for those questions because we're going to have a couple of Q&As here and there. So feel free to do it. I do have one or two that came in from Instagram that we'll get to later. But anyway, so that's the history. I covered that. And
Up to like
Deja, bring us into
2018.
the current.
So you stopped at like 2018. So that was like
2018,
and
the dark ages.
I was gonna say something similar to that. I was kind of feeling that way, and with us being in Mexico, like I really did feel like I was missing out. Like I was like, y'all going on cruises?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to make it work, but you know, just responsibilities, life. But the pandemic happened. Like I know that we took a long break, but we needed to come back. We knew we wanted to come back. I will say that we just didn't know how. And with this lockdown happening around like March, I definitely remember calling Esme, saying, you probably won't remember, but I do. I was just shooting the breeze with you, missed you, and you know, we're inside. I'm like, well, I want to call my friend. And and
by the way, you were there for the beginning too in 2010. Now that was your first time on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So I met you and Darren in person at the
In
same
Philly.
time. But
And that was my
continue.
first
I don't want to.
time meeting Deja in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So continue.
That's how this thing started. But yeah, so I called you and I was like, man, I haven't wrote poetry in a while. Let me spit something like real short. Spit that, and I heard your son Julian. Isme has a son named Julian, who's like my little brother, and he was like, I got some day. I'm like, Julian, you write? You know, so that was big for me. So hearing him do something, I was like, like, we got to figure something out here. We got to do something on Zoom. Julian spitting, have something that can, you know, spotlight him and other poets. We need this. So we didn't know how. You know, as a brand, we wanted to make sure that we kind of focused on that, what we had the in-person, bringing that digitally or virtually. But we weren't just going to wake up and just do something. That's just not how City Series works. We're always planning like for a while. It's never just boom in a day and then all of a sudden, hey guys, we're gonna do this. No, like it's months and weeks and talking and like, nah, I can't. Yeah, all right. What about this time?
Zoom,
It's back and
Zoom
forth.
planning meetings and WhatsApp
planning.
calls and
Back and forth. So we plan everything to the T, basically, and we wanted the event to represent us well, as if even if you missed our in person, you would have felt like you had experienced it there. So we definitely wanted to start these Zoom events, but it was really new for us. I do want to say that Zoom was new back then in March, April 2020. I do remember, only thing I remember about Zoom is PBS. Let me know if y'all remember this when they were like, come on in, Zoom. Okay, so that is the only Zoom that I remember. I mean, it was definitely foreign to us. You know, we had Skype and everything, but the reason why I'm mentioning this is because we knew that we didn't know much about it, and a part of our team in person was like Chris, Mike Tolliver. Some of you may not know them, but they are very dear to us. They are part of the CSW family, and they did a lot of help with us behind the scenes. And so we contacted them and other brothers who would know, how is this Zoom thing working? You know, this host, co-host.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think spotlighting was available back then, or was it?
It
Maybe?
wasn't.
I think it was brand new, and I think it was Callie that told us about it.
Yeah, for QCSW2, we was able to spotlight the first one.
There you go.
No,
we
we did spotlight on the
for the
first one. We did, yeah, we definitely did, because we made a
But we
whole
didn't know.
dance video.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's like almost all the cameras were on that one.
that was fun. So now you see what they're saying, guys. Like we had to bring in everybody, which we call assembling the Avengers. Literally, it was all of us, La, Chris, everybody, family was there. Even if they weren't like behind the scenes of playing, they were there, and our eyes and ears. We needed that because again, we as our brand do not want to give you something garbage, basically, just for lack of a better word. We want to give you quality, good work, and also representing Jehovah. Like we just, it has to be clean and good. So that's us. If you're just now learning who CSW is. So we really put in a lot of effort to bring an organized show. So that's one thing I love about being a part of the CSW family. We are a team, guys. Like some people work together, they got this one thing and then they just all come together and try to make it work. No, we work together as a team. We get together and have so many rehearsals. Like
It's not just me. I'm so glad you're saying this because I didn't tell you what to say tonight. And I'm like, I'm here to tell y'all. Esme types up the stuff. Esme sends it out. But them and the other folks, they're the ones that tell me what to say. They're the ones that tell me what to do. It's a team.
It's important. I think that for anybody that's trying to do things like, sometimes we feel like we don't need anybody. I tried to do my anniversary event and I call S and I'm like, I'm stressed. I don't trust, with people handling events because I'm so used to our team because we do get together and we work together so well. So S was like, get a team. You need a team. And that's just how things have flowed ever since I met S and Darren. Like, that's just how we do things. So we really wanted to convert our in-person feel to a virtual one. But one main thing and why we did quarantine City Series is because we needed upbuilding association. So I am going to say that again. We needed upbuilding association. Okay. And clean upbuilding association. Let me add the adjective. But everything with the pandemic happened so quickly. We went from planned trips to no trips, right? We went from pictures with our cameras to having screenshots of squares on Zoom. Like everything basically changed. That we're now saying corona and virus in the same sentence and it's not a beer. So we realized that everybody worldwide was suffering. And that's another thing about City Series is that we're always thinking about our brotherhood and how we can be of encouragement to everyone. So it's a very big deal for us. Like we're at the end of the day, we're trying to think about how we can encourage people, especially because this pandemic took everybody by surprise. We wanted to make sure we're adapting well to you all. But one thing I also wanted to mention is that I appreciate those messages that some of the friends have sent to our CSW family account. It is so encouraging because, we plan all these things. We wonder, is it really hitting? And I've met people who are now writing poetry who never wrote a poem in their life. One of my best friends who is a need grader here in Acapulco never wrote a poem. She heard one of Esme's poems and was like, I'm writing a poem. I was so inspired, and that that was big, because you don't know sometimes if you encourage anyone or not. You're doing it because you just love the brotherhood, love the friends, and that definitely hit my heart. We're writing more. I'm sure Esme, Darren, y'all can admit, like I wouldn't write, and I feel like I thought I needed to be an angry poet to write. Apparently not. The quarantine changed that for me. Okay, it's like you can write about other things. You can be inspired by other things. And speaking of which, I can be inspired by other poets. Like I've met other friends worldwide because of Zoom and the Quarantine City Series. We've got friends all over the world that I know my budget could not have afforded to go all these places in 1 year. So
that's it. That's it.
That's
all
it.
Together.
That's it right there.
It's all of that summed up to basically tell you this is why QCSW or Quarantine City Series transpired. All of that, we're stronger now, I feel.
That's it.
But yeah.
That's it.
Speaking
that
of
was.
family,
I couldn't even say it. Couldn't have said it better if I tried. That was a great. The history, what we're doing now, and just the impact that City Series has had then, but especially now. Someone made the comment earlier that they gave us time to just sit back, relax, think, and create. And that was the biggest thing with this process. We just say we would just sit back and just kind of just take a minute, think about things, and just create. And that's what we've done. Is just created and just kept creating.
And I think that a lot of times you can look at a situation like we were told, it's been kind of dead for so long, why bring it back kind of situation. And I think that we can answer that by saying, why not? Because, we had sort of the what's the word? The recipe on how to make things, events
Mhm.
organized. We already
Right.
knew how to make sure of things. We already knew what it took to put on an event. We already knew like how complex it can be, how to check everything, dot your I's, cross your T's. Like we had all of it.
Mhm.
So we knew that if we did this on Zoom, if we did this a different way, we could do it just as well. And we could
Yeah.
be just as serious about bringing honor to Jehovah. We could be just as serious about not bringing reproach. We could be just as serious about being encouraging because we put all the blood, sweat, and tears in the physical events because we wanted to be an encouragement, because people wanted to see their friends and family twice a year. So why not introduce this to other people? I mean, and even the IG account, our IG account for years has only been for people that attended past City Series. But our City Series date all the way back. So we have allowed other friends to come into the account. We're still a private account. That's not changing.
Yeah.
This account will not become public. But we get the team together and we say, okay, we have some friend requests. Does this look recognizable to any of you?
Mhm.
And so if Darren or Deja or La come to me and say, I've got some friends that want to join and they want to follow you, they want to keep up with what you guys are doing, I trust them, they're getting approved. And
Yeah.
so we had the workings together. We just needed to make it work. I guess that's really kind of what it all boils down to in the light of under the umbrella of a pandemic, so to
Mhm.
speak. So all right, so I think that Dave, did you cover everything you wanted to cover?
Yeah, like I hope everybody understands a little bit more about us and why we're doing what we're doing. So it was a joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cover.
I'm gonna.
La.
Oh God, I can't reach the letter Q. Why is that?
She done lowered her chair. Now she can't reach nothing.
No, it's not that. It's my thick. Shut up, Darren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look.
Yes.
Hold on. I'm trying to get Jaquan in here, and my phone is tripping right now. So,
That's
okay,
all right.
did I do that?
I don't know. I don't see him yet. That's all right.
Yeah, I don't
It's
see him
coming.
yet. Well, while
Also
you're
digging
playing,
the shirt, Darren.
huh?
Just wanted. I'm
Oh
digging
yeah,
the shirt.
I got it.
exclusive for
Sorry.
tonight. We'll get into that later, but this was an
Pew, pew, pew,
exclusive one made up
pew.
for specifically for tonight. They normally come in the normal black and white lettering one, but
All right, all
it's
right.
exclusively
Sneak
made.
peek. We'll be talking about that
Jaquan,
later. What's up,
JQ.
brother-in-law? Yo, yo.
JQ lyric in the building.
So for everyone that especially the
Hold on,
folks that
let me put my headphones on. Steve or Darren sound like he far away again.
I sound like a
Oh
far away
boy.
again.
Jaquan, you having some video
Yeah,
delays?
you a little fuzzy there too, brother.
Yeah, man.
Sorry. Come on, Jaquan. You know the deal.
Do you have it like on infrared view,
Yeah,
an
whatever
infrared filter?
filter you
He
got
got
going
that's what he
on.
got to do. It's a whole filter.
All right, hello.
Yeah,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear you.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine now.
Okay.
Maybe it was
Oh,
just my headphones.
you
I
have
put
a
headphones
filter
on.
on. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
do you have a filter on?
I have a filter on. No, I don't know. I never went on.
I think you do.
Oh well.
I
Anyway,
can't tell.
You're touching buttons.
I'm touching buttons now. I see a big cross out. So I'm like, all right. So I guess that's it. No.
No, we can see you.
we can see
Okay,
you,
all right.
we can
We can
hear
see you. We
you.
can hear you.
You just look like
Yeah.
a 16-bit Sega Genesis game. That's all.
You look like you have an infrared like the heat that comes.
Oh
Yeah, the heat
yeah,
lamp.
that's the apartment. The lights are like heat lamps. I'm like, man, it's
Nah,
how does it look in
it's
here?
okay. It's got the camera looking like it's cartoon vibes, but it's all right. It's for you.
That's all right.
That's
We'll
all
rock
right.
with
You
it.
just be you'll just be a comic strip tonight.
Right.
That's all.
You'll be a caricature. We'll rock with it.
Oh yeah.
For
This
everybody,
You
this
are
is
a
literally my
character.
first time going live. I'm like, all right,
Are you
whatever.
serious?
Right.
Yeah, I don't go live. I don't.
Right.
I feel so honored.
Well, if y'all remember, we were supposed to do the Behind the Bars last year. We were supposed to be on IG Live, but we were having some crazy connectivity issues then. So we switched it to Zoom at like the last minute. So just a little more brief history with that. But yeah, so everybody that's in here that doesn't know Jaquan, especially a lot of the QCSW3 people, he is typically one of the hosts with me and La. He was sick at the time, so he couldn't join us. But he's here tonight. I always say he was my first coach into the spoken word game. He's the one that kind of really a real crucial part in my development that really got me into it, got me going. So, and Asia and so many others. So this is my brother, Jaquan, JQ Lyric. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, taking the time out and being with us. I know you've been laying low for a little while, but we really appreciate this, bro.
He gave me my name too as Mississippi.
Aww. That's cool.
I have it under my personal IG.
Jaquan, you're a girl. You gave me your brother. You out here giving out names. You're very
Yeah, the whole brother thing came out of nowhere. Deja like, so this guy named Jamin? I'm like, my brother?
No. Jaquan recommended
my brother.
Me.
And he was like, so what kind of girls did Jamin like? I'm like, why?
We really gonna put this out there right now? No, see, this is what I'm talking
He's
about.
telling stories. I'm gonna just put it. Who are you gonna believe, guys? Come on.
When you were walking around Wet Willie's at like, oh, we won't go there.
Don't go there.
Yo.
Don't do it. No,
don't
not
do
speak
it.
No. We're not No. Anyway, Jaquan, how you feeling? First of all, how you feeling? You good?
I'm good. I mean, COVID hit everybody different, so still going through some of the residuals, but I'm good.
Good. No, that's good to hear. You look good. You sound good.
You look good, brother.
Conversing, yeah, you look real good. Conversing the last couple days and everything, so you look good. You look strong. So we just going to get right into it. We've been rocking for the last 10, 11 years, what have you. We've hosted events, from all up and down the East Coast, from Florida up to Connecticut and everything in between. We've hosted CitySeries Live, Quarantine City Series, the whole band, But one thing that, I really wanted to bring to the viewers and the people is, how do you keep the energy up versus a live hosting session versus a virtual as part of Zoom? How do you keep that energy up? How do you keep the crowd engaged in a spoken word set, live versus Zoom?
Well, it's the same things, essentially. The same way. Let me add to that. I would ask you, how do you keep, a congregation motivated over Zoom as far as being there? It's the effort you put into it. It's the questions. It's the interaction between them. It's the same thing, the same basic stuff. Like, I think when we first met, we talked about, like, what does it take to be a good writer or a good poet or a good performer? Ironically, the very same things it takes to be a good speaker. So if you go into the benefit book, you start going through those lessons there. Everything you need to be a good speaker is right there.
That's true.
True. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. So with that, why keep coming to City Series? First of all, before we even get to that, what started you in City Series? And then what kept you coming back to host City Series events? Not only host City Series events, but perform in City Series events.
Yeah.
Was it you? I think it was you.
Might have been.
Like, I first met you, short story, I met Darren through actually Alex. I met Darren and I met Tim the same time. And we were at Darren's parents' house. I thought it was Tim's house. So I didn't know. I mean, we're coming from New York, we're riding around. Never mind the fact that Darren looks like a carbon copy of his dad, but never mind that. I thought it was Tim's house. I'm like, I don't know.
He really does.
So coming from that, we would go through various poetry events. Hey, you got something popping off here. And he told me about CitySeries. Like, I got this friend named Esme, she makes all types of dope Spanish food and, the empanadas and all this kind of stuff. And what happened was you invited me. I think it was the first time. You only went DC one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So DC City Series you invited me to, but it was a scheduling conflict. I couldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
So you invited me to the next one, whichever one was the next one after that. And then I remember we started performing. You know, you shouted out Deja. I was like, "Yeah, you know, my sister Daylight X." They were like, "That's Deja's brother." We wasn't really brothers, but now we are, but whatever. But that's what essentially got everything going. Darren was like, "I want you to meet Esme." I was like, "All right, cool." And when I met Esme, you know, she was all warm. Everybody knew Esme. Esme the same way to everybody, warm and cool and down to earth. I was like, I don't know this woman, but she cool. So, all right, let's roll with it. So from there, that's how it started. But as far as keeping coming back, like the question is, like, why wouldn't you come back to where family is? People go where they're comfortable. They go where they're, you know, appreciated. They go where they have fun. So why wouldn't I come back?
Right.
Yeah, no, that's true. That yeah, about to have some crocodile tears in here.
I am.
No, that's true, and I think that, you know, you really hit it on the head where, you know, when it talks about family, and this is why this segment is called Behind the Family, because of that aspect. I mean, all of us have grown over the years. I mean, we've seen each other in our dark times. We've seen each other in our highlighted times. So we've all become really a family, not only just for poetry, but for spoken word, for you know, for everything. So yeah, that's where that, you know, that Behind the Family really does come from. But, you know, again, for those that didn't get an opportunity to see you spit, I'm asking you this as a favor from your boy for the culture. If you could, you know, hit us off with a little something to open the night up a little bit, because we promised people that we're going to have some poetry. This is going to be just a relaxed, chill event, but of course we're going to have poetry. We're poets. Why wouldn't there be poetry, right?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be poetry. It can just be conversations. Like,
All right.
you ever had legit beef with somebody?
Right.
Like, you don't hate, but y'all not cool. Like, the heat's died down and you're not particularly standing for the sound of their voices or the messed up choices they made or made you look at them different. You ever had a situation like that? Like, whatever it may be, you know, ex-girlfriend, guy friend, exit wound, or going too soon, whatever the case may be. Like, it's not necessarily wrong to ask for some specificity. I mean, you just not cool. You know what I mean? But that's cool, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you're not mad per se or necessarily upset. It's just they let you down in such a way that made you have to go back and try and decipher the shady sign that they showed you that you chose to ignore. You ever been in a scenario like that? Or what's more, how you can make sure you never allow that to happen to you again? Like, you never be victimized again. And again, it's not hate. It's just y'all not cool. But that's cool, right? I mean, I'm not trying to seem petty. Let me break it down this way. Like, my mom used to always say, people are raised differently than you are. So they may not have been exposed to proper parenting or know how they're supposed to treat people, but that not to try and expose their shortcomings. And it's more or less coming to realize there's no real excuse to explain abusive actions. And that's not to act like I'm trying to act alone here. It's just, all right, let's put it this way. I'm not out here to try and steer you in a particular direction. We all got our own feelings. We all grown adults. I was just thinking that growing is a part of changing and a part of life and perfectly natural. And for the last time, I absolutely have no hate in my heart when I say this, but to be clear, when I say this, sometimes you just grow apart and you just not cool. But that's cool, right?
Right.
And this is why I call him my coach. Like, that's just, I mean, just
Right.
right off the
Right.
top, just like that, right?
Right.
Let's not get into this, right?
Oh, man.
Oh, I love that piece. He did that in New Orleans. Oh,
Yeah,
that was so good.
Right, is crazy.
I did that at Alex's wedding.
Did you?
Are you serious?
He
Wow.
he put it on YouTube somewhere. I was like, dude, I didn't authorize that.
That Miss Right. You at some point you have got to bring that back. At some point.
Yeah.
That's a good one because that's an interactive one, but I don't think you can do that on Zoom though.
Sure, you can.
How? You can't get the audience to say right?
Well, you just assume, people participate.
You can see their mouths say,
Everybody raise your hand.
We gotta spotlight people. Yo, we gotta spotlight people, and they be like, just mouth.
We'll figure it out.
Like,
That is definitely a live
point.
interact. It's a participation bit.
Yeah, get the little trophy, put that on participation award. It's all cool. It's good.
I'm so done with you.
Let's just go ahead and unmute and say right.
Darren always cracks this little joke, or maybe he believes it, whatever. He's like, I was his first coach, but I learned from everybody in here. So Darren's whole way of doing things, what I found out was the Philly sound. So, Philly comes out here, and him and Ben and, little Timmy, they go through their whole thing, and I'm like, Lord. And for whatever reason, whenever Tim performs, he got us out here just crazy hungry. I'm like, man, look, I don't know if it's the IGs or he out here cooking or he eating on the sidelines. I'm like, bruh, he needs to have a page. And then Deja, the funny thing about Deja is, if I would say anybody I helped, she would be like my prized person I ever helped. Because I met her when she was doing Freestyle Fridays back in the old. What was it called before Facebook? What was it called? Roku? What was it called?
Oh, Ringo.
Ringo.
So she would have Freestyle Fridays with Ringo, with mad people. She would do Facebook. I don't know any of these people, right? It's just crazy. I don't know if they're witnesses. I don't know if they're right. It's just, they're jumping out. At this point, remember, I didn't know how spiritual you were. Remember, I didn't know. We were just like, yo, Jamin came out of nowhere like, yo, you hear about the Witness Freestyle Friday? I was like, what?
Here we go.
It's a Witness Freestyle Friday? And Deja kicking it all off. She had to be at work on her downtime. I can imagine her looking around like, okay, Freestyle Friday. So that's how I met Deja. And then slowly but surely over time, here comes Esme like, I wrote something. I was like, no. So, let's be perfectly honest. When somebody first starts getting into the poetry game, for somebody that's been writing for a while, let's be honest, you don't necessarily take them as seriously as you should. You're like, okay, they're just getting into it. Let's hear what they have to say. You always respect them, but you don't look at them as like a threat.
Exactly.
Esme's coming out here.
Her mind, okay.
True story.
And don't let Esme fool y'all. Esme be lying.
She do.
She be lying.
She do.
She be like, Esme be like, oh, I'm not good, and I'm not good at this, and next thing you know, she got musical backgrounds, and she got pictorial. I mean, she out here like super hot fire. She's like, I'm not a poet though. I'm not a poet though,
right? It irritates me.
I'm not a poet.
Irritation.
It took a while. All right, get off my back. This is not about me today. Give me a break.
We jumping on.
So the most hilarious thing about it was when Esme first. All right, me and Darren are sitting there. Esme like, can I perform? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And she starts performing. We're looking at the list together about who's coming up next. We're looking at the list, and then we both look up. I thought she couldn't perform.
Yeah.
Where this come from?
Whatever.
Which takes me around to Deja. Now, Deja kicked off the whole Freestyle Friday things. So over time, anybody that writes and people ask you for constructive criticism, you give it to them. So that kind of changed how Deja writes. If you see how she used to battle back then, I said, you write like you're a battle rapper, but you're not. You don't perform it like a poet. And she's like, what do you mean? So we started going through little exercises and stuff, and that changed. So now she performs like a battle rapper poet. It's like, so she drops all these little crazy lines that you have to rewind back like 4 or 5 times. But by the time you do that, she's like 4 or 5 lines past you. So now you got to record the whole thing and go back.
It's like, listen.
I don't know any piece that Deja has ever performed that I haven't had times. Like I have to. Because I know I've missed like so many references. So many.
Yep.
So
Yep.
That's my little sis.
Thank you, Jaquan. Thank you, Jaquan, for all your help.
That's he put it out there like that. And but listen, we got this great thing on IG. You got the little question mark there. at this time, if you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to know about City Series, you want to bounce off.
I've been writing them down too.
Now is the time to do it. You know, we'll fill some questions and everything. Jaquan, thank you so much for bringing your energy as you always have.
Bye.
Everybody, continue to stay tuned for the announcements. You have to stay here. Not only going to have more poetry, we're going to have some big announcements coming in. So you have to lock in. You have to stay tuned. So everybody, come on over, grab your drink,
lock
food,
in.
Come on over, just sit down, enjoy the event. All right, Esme, you gotta.
Bye, Jaquan.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Esme had a couple questions there.
Yes, that's right. We do need to do Q&A. All right, so
How do I leave?
The X you saw earlier that you was
I
like,
think
what's
you have to tap your screen. I think you hit the X, if I'm not mistaken.
Tap my screen. Report comment, reply to Lala.
Sound like that.
I'm learning too, Jaquan. It's all right.
I think he left. Okay, there it is. All right, so I have two questions here that we're gonna address. The first one was from our stories on Instagram. The question was, how do you go about memorizing your poems for a performance? Darren, do you want to take it?
Yeah, well, I have a kind of an unorthodox way. I memorize as I'm writing it. So I'll always say I'm not a type poet that I can just sit down and, okay, I'm just going to write this poem today. Oh, we got an event tomorrow. All right, let me go ahead and write this down so I can do it. No, it takes me a lot of time to develop. A big part of that is because I'm memorizing it as I'm going. I'm getting my cadences down. I'm getting my inflections down as I'm writing it. And that also helps me in the process. So, okay, so what could the next line be? Because I already got the flow going. So my process for memorizing is kind of different from a lot of other people's, because I do it as I'm going along with it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that's good because, I mean, I never heard of your way before, but I thought that was interesting because I've tried everyone's little snippet of way, but for me, I would say I write it and then I try to understand the feeling that I want to give to the audience. And then I start memorizing a paragraph first. And once I feel like I have it, then if I make a mistake, I keep going. I start over. Every time I make a mistake, I just start from the beginning because that helps me to already get back into the groove and understand where I'm at. And I also used to be in sign language. So sometimes I have that's why a lot of people see me with gestures because it's like I know my points and everything helps me. I know Esme's always on me about my facial expression. She's screenshotted every facial expression I have.
Not
like,
true.
oh gosh, like I'm stuck. But
not true.
Also, I try to look away, look at the wall, look at random spots, so that I don't. If I ever get distracted, like if I'm ever on stage, like I'm not like, oh, I lost my spot. Because, somebody, back on stage, when you used to be on stage, somebody say something like rewind, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, where was I?
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, shout out to Rewind. We haven't done those in a long time.
Let's not. So I will say that the way I memorize pieces is by voice notes. Voice notes is your friend, yes. Record yourself doing your poem and listen and listen and listen and listen. I put it on in the car. I put it on when I get to the house. Like, I don't even know what's playing on the radio because all I hear is me, to the point where it's like you almost get sick of it. Yeah. Yeah. I would say that my piece Be the Change from QCS3 was so ingrained in my head that I didn't skip one line. And that was a miracle. That was a miracle. Because I was like, I'm not going to be able to see the piece. I don't know where to put it. What if I lose? It was there.
Especially when it comes to tongue twisters and everything, to be able to get it out like that is woo.
Yes, you have to go fast. So, all right, I'm going to look at those questions in a minute. I need to pull in my girl. Oh, actually, before I pull her in, there is one other question. I'm going to do two questions. The second question was, which I thought was sweet, and I'll answer this one. Is or was there ever an age limit? I always wanted to join, but I thought I was too old.
Oh, no.
Okay, my sis. The answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. The one thing I will say, especially when we used to do our live and in-person shows, was we had literally the widest age gap. And the thing was that we never wanted anyone to be under 21, but of course we would sneak our kids in. Like Julian went to City Series and Lyric went to City Series. And we'd sneak them in, you know, and do the family-friendly stuff. But we had sisters that were coming in with their canes. We had moms and daughters traveling together. You know, the young people who were there to, you know, let their hair down and have a good time were inviting their parents. Like, we never wanted there to anyone to feel like City Series wasn't for them. So yeah, please don't ever think that you're too old. Listen, I log on to these Zoom dance things and I'm seeing them older friends with the lights in the background and they're getting it in, and I'm just like, look, go ahead with your back.
Right? Getting it.
You know, I'm like, the old friends need encouragement too. You know what I'm saying? So City Series, no, please. I just wanted to make sure I addressed that.
Yes,
absolutely. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pull in my chica. La lovely.
We about to go a little out of order, but it's all right. We're gonna pull in a lot.
Oh no, we're not out of order.
We a little bit.
Oh no, we are. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on, La, not yet.
So, Dave, you wanted the real day, right? You wanted the real day. How do she type up a sheet and even?
What I do? I know. I'm sorry.
All day. It's like.
I'm sorry.
It's highlighted, yo. It's highlighted, y'all.
It's highlighted. It's literally in yellow. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Can I introduce you? Can I introduce you?
Sure. Why not?
Since I went ahead and ruined the whole thing? Okay.
Sure.
I would like to introduce to you my brother, the one and only Pop Darren, a.k.a. I Am Free. He is going to be performing a piece. I don't know what the piece is, but I can't wait.
We're actually going to hear some crowd noise. Thank you. We're actually going to do something brand new. Brand new. Some heard it. I just hope I can get it out. You know, brand new pieces. Shout out to my brother Hostage. You know, we like to nurse and hold pieces in so it's all ready. But no, this is a special event, so we're gonna rock it. All right, it's called King of the Jungle. I may not have the mane of the mammal, but I will maim any man in my domain trying to manhandle my pride. I take pride in that. And unless your name is Daniel, don't enter the lion's den. How strong is your faith in your God? Mine is rock solid, and I promise one roar will move mountains. Try me. In fact, put your inadequacies, better yet, your inanimate pleas against mine. But please, ask forgiveness in my name when you're finished. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they've done. The blood of your son has been sacrificed on the same stake. These has-beens used as the raptor in their eye. Just give me the word. I have been ready to move them to the past tense. I'm past tense, plus his feet in time. And I ain't ate in days. I taste your fear. That jungle in your heart rumble with nowhere to run to as you're being hunted. Haunted by a predator's protective nature. It's not anger, just patience of the proud. Proving that meekness is not weakness, because you'll still get devoured. His mightiness is my power, while I lick my paws clean. Your effort to plant a seed, to plan and deceive, will never succeed. Your mission to conquer will not be accomplished. How do you pronounce dominance but want others to denounce the creator's existence as if it's a form of creative difference, like you're trying to create a distance with your dissidence without discipline? It's a line that didn't get considered in your disciple making. How many angels are really on your side? Your angles of influence is a lie, and I'm ready to kick off a holy war with my hind legs. Get behind me, Satan. I'm in a say-when relationship with the Lord. I say when he brings his hordes, swarms of celestials ready to swing their swords. The slaughter is the feast, and I salivate the victory. A vicious intrigue, a revelation to reveling for the benevolent. We're done wrestling the irrelevant. We settled it. The apex is the climax, and I'm maxed out. Now watch me reign as the Lion King.
Boy! Boy, if I could come through this screen, listen, man, all I see is fire emojis, man. I mean, I see words, but jeez.
I hope you can see all those emojis. Don't worry, they're being recorded.
Daniel, okay?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Past tense. I mean, come on, like
he licking his paws out here. You hear me?
right? And the angles. I mean, you know, I was catching. I was.
And it says the dissident and the distance and the difference and the all of that.
Oh my God.
All of that.
That was fire.
That was hot.
Thank you.
That was hot.
Appreciate it.
That was nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
I told y'all were in for a treat tonight. He dropping new stuff on the live. Like
only for
what?
tonight. Only for tonight.
I was not expecting you to do that piece tonight. I mean, I knew that you had done it, but I did not expect you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
That was nice.
Thank you. Very nice.
Special event. Thank you.
All right. Let's keep it going. I'm sorry I won't mess up again. Not true. I'll probably mess up
early. Medicine early.
Right.
Yeah, no. It's all good. All right. There it is. All right. Live Jones. We calling you out.
La la.
Come to the front of the congregation, my love.
Oh.
All right.
Not the front.
That was hot. The front.
That's where they do the baptismal.
F-R-E-N-T. The front.
Give a
That's what
resounding.
Charlamagne be saying. Okay, well, I sent the invite, my darling. I don't know if you got it or not. I think you're here. I think she's here.
One night only.
I was just thinking about that song.
All right, well, while we're waiting on Law, let me take another question.
Yeah.
Someone asked, do you have to be a poet to be a part of CSW family? No, you do not. The majority of people in this life right now are not, okay, I'm sorry. Something is going on here. All right, let me try that again, La. The majority of people in here are not necessarily poets, performance poets, spoken word artists. However, they love poetry. Hello, my love. And then we have a lot of people that are writers, but they don't normally perform or do anything, you know, as far as like performing in a show or anything like that. So, no, you don't have to be a poet to be part of CSW fam.
No.
That's the answer to that.
Hi, beautiful love.
La.
Hey. Sorry, I have you guys on my laptop, so I had to switch back to my phone real quick to jump back on.
Yeah, please. If you only saw the entire operation here, I got it recording on the computer. I'm talking here on this laptop. I'm on my phone. It's a mess.
Girl, I feel you.
It's a mess.
What's poppin',
But that's
family?
all right. What's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
Good?
Don't mind
I'm mad
me
I had
just
you all
talking.
loud over here, and that was all low sounded on my phone. I'm a little sad about that, but it's all right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You want to put your earpiece in? That's the only way I'm operating with this earpiece, because otherwise it would be low.
I should, but I don't want to. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you
I
fine.
hear you fine.
I'll just leave it alone, because I can hear you. It's just not as loud as I want it to be. It's all good. I don't want to mess it up, so we good.
Okay. All right, so I'm doing your interview today. I have questions. I have a few curated questions to ask you, darling. So first of all, y'all should know La Jones is my boo, so I get a little silly with her. So if y'all don't, just
You know you my boo thing.
That's my boo thing right there. All right. So my first question was, why did you get involved with City Series, and why are you still involved in 2021? Because you started in 2010. So how
2010.
did that? Yeah, how did that happen?
Girl, you know, you came and asked to do me to host in DC, and I was like, what?
I can't say a lot.
It was like, girl, can we hold up? They being all disrespectful outside. Don't they know I'm doing an interview? You gotta calm down out there. You know, you came with a really good platform. Around 2010, I was still doing spoken word shows like on other platforms or whatever, and it was just really nice to find a group of witnesses that were, for lack of a better word, where they were authentic and genuine and knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, I would never try to censor somebody's. When I used to host an event in DC, I would say, I will never censor your writing, but I will censor my stage. So
Remember that.
I appreciated your platform because you never tried to censor someone's writing, because you're never going to say, oh, you know, you're an awful writer, or oh, you're an awful poet. Like, you just don't do that. But there are different calibers of writers, and it's okay. No matter where you fall is where you fall. It's fine. But I appreciated City Series because it was still an elevated caliber of a show. It still had that welcoming feeling. Nobody was excluded. Now, the stage may have had to be censored. You know what I mean? So you may not have made it to the stage, but you can still be a part of the family. And I thought that was a very dope concept that resonated with me. So I was like, yeah, I could be a part of this. I could definitely be a part of this.
That's what's up.
And then being able to host, I mean, come on, I love hosting. So being able to get other people who may have always felt excluded from the poetry scene, or closet writers who don't have an opportunity to meet others or just enjoy the craft. And then I guess one of the other biggest reasons too is that when I used to perform on other stages that did not cater to witnesses, I would always have a certain amount of guilt that people would come to hear me do a piece, and my 20-minute set is free of anything that, you know, we may not want to hear, but they're still going to be in the room where all these other poets are going to say whatever they're going to say, and I have no control over what happens on the stage. And so now all these people who have come to just to see me are now opened up to all of these other poets who they on another who otherwise they would not have been exposed to that type of material. And I always felt some kind of way about that. So it was really, really nice. When I stepped away from doing the other shows, it was nice to still have a band of people where I know, hey, I'm La, I like to write, I like to spit, I like to sing, and I'm so comfortable that I know I can do it on this stage, and I don't have to worry about who's coming before me or after me. Because I know that everyone who came to see me is still going to have a great show without being exposed to a lot of other elements that otherwise they would have been exposed to had they seen me on a stage that I might have previously been on. So I really, really appreciated that.
And I want to just also make it clear to the audience who may not completely know you, is that you've been in the game for over 20 years. City Series was only around a decade ago. So you've been, you know, doing this for a long time. Just came out with a second poetry book. I mean, you've been in the game a long time. And so for you to, you know, say what you're saying about City Series is really, it makes me feel honored, because I feel like, you know, you really could just pick and choose whatever platform or whatever show or whatever group you wanted to be a part of. And, you know, you decided that you were going to
I choose you guys like you guys choose me.
You chose us. And I think, and that speaks to also like why you're still here, because I mean, face it, you're not really doing the performance rounds anymore. I mean, you know, you don't have a need to, you don't have, you could, you know, you can go on stage, you could totally light it on fire, but you choose not to do that right now, especially during the pandemic, obviously.
Yeah,
but even if there was no pandemic, I mean, if I had said, listen, La, I'm coming back, you know, we're going to do City Series for like one more time, and we're just going to like start something, and are you interested? What would your answer would have been?
If you asked me, oh yeah, I do it.
See?
Yeah, I definitely do
And
it.
that's what I think a lot of people are starting to come to understand about what we mean by family, what we mean by City Series
Yeah.
family, is
Yep.
that when we have adopted one another, we look at that person in that truest sense. And La has never said, ask the questions, what's in it for me? She's never said, I don't know. Well, what if I used your platform to do this or do that? She's never done that. So I just want to tell you, I really appreciate you and the fact that, over a decade later, I'm still looking at your pretty face and
We
I've gotten
still
even
together, boo.
closer. I still together and I'm still looking at your pretty face and everything is all good. So I really like that. All right. So then my second question for you was, what advice would you give for, let's say, next gen poets, people who are new to poetry, who are, just starting to write? They're getting inspired by all these poets now that they're seeing in these poetry shows and stuff. What would your advice be for them?
So my number one advice would be inspired, but do not emulate. It is so easy to go to a
Valid.
show and be like, boom, I like that person. I want to write like that. Or I want to write what they said. Or I want to take this. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because one, it is impossible to maintain that. You are not that person, right? You're not that person. Their experience is not your experience. So authenticity is so major. And when you are authentic, to be quite honest, you might not be good. like this,
Real talk.
real talk. Your authentic self might suck. And that's okay. That's okay. Right? Anyway, look.
Right.
It's the truth.
Right.
It's the truth. True story. I've been writing for a very long time. So long that I really don't even write that much anymore. I only really write when I absolutely feel like it. And as for writing to perform, yeah, I don't do that either. I used to do it all of the time because I performed. Like, I loved to perform, so I would write to perform. And writing to write and writing to perform, for me, are two different things.
Two different things. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't write to perform anymore. So, I'm in groups with you guys and you guys are, killing it. Pop, the one that you just did, I'm like,
ridiculous.
Because I don't do it. That's just not where I'm at. So when I hear it, sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to. It's like, no, I don't. Just stop. That's not me. Day has bars for days. Like,
days.
That's why your name is Day. Because you got bars for days.
Literally.
Right? You be
days.
Like, and I'm like, what did she do? I don't write like that. I wish I did. It is the dopest thing. Like, I hear so I say all that to say your authentic self might suck right now, right? But develop you, because you will never get to understand and really, really get to grasp how dope you are until you learn to be okay with sucking in the beginning. If you do. Because writing is therapeutic. Writing should be for you before writing is for any kind of audience.
Yeah.
So
right.
Write authentically, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to rhyme. Just write.
Right.
When I do my coaching class, when I do my conference, part of our assignments in my program is you have to write every single day. And I'll give you a prompt. You don't have to read it, but just write. Because people don't understand writing is therapy. And as bad as the world is that we live in, we all need therapy. It's the freest therapy you can have aside from reading the Bible. So just write. Just be authentic. Don't try to copy anybody. Just write. And if it's horrible, so what? We all write horrible stuff. Even still.
And I'll tell you what, in your book, Banter and Bourbon, you have sections where you encourage the writing. So I really love that. I really love that about that book as well.
That has helped me so much. I can't say I was going to butt in with that point, that those writing prompts in Banter and Bourbon is like on point. I mean, to this, I still read it. I still got it as like it's on my it's on like the top part of my screen on my computer. It's still there, and I still click it open. And whenever I'm feeling like writer's block, Like, let me look at this writing prompt.
Yeah.
And just
Oh
go
my
right
gosh,
into
that's
it
so
and
dope. Thank
still
you.
do it.
I love
Like, it's
this
just,
too.
it's
I like the
Inspiring.
comment that Jaquan and Cece Sharice both said important things here. Sharice said writing your own lane is freedom, and Jaquan said also your perspective changes as your writing experiences change.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, it
everything,
does.
it keeps going. So that's why you have to keep writing. So.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to round this my Q&A out with you for if you can just let us know. I talked about your book. I want you to mention that. Tell me what current projects you're working on and where we can find out more.
Okay, so yes, so thank y'all for dropping the book. I appreciate it. I don't do a very good job publicizing the book these days. I'm going to do. I know I'm horrible.
Mm-hmm.
My poetry life is just
Mm-hmm.
so bad these days.
I'm not going to get on
But
your case, but
No, not on this form.
I know. Okay. So, but before I will tell you this. Before we do this, I did run to my my little site on Instagram and put the link in my bio because
Okay.
I didn't have it up there. So yeah. So Banter and Bourbon, it's $20 now. It is on my site lilovely.com. But if you're on Instagram and you follow me at lilovely, it's if you click the link in bio, it's going to be the very first link. It'll say like purchase Banter and Bourbon. And I am still, Essie's gonna kill me. I have looked into putting it on Amazon and getting it, printed and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It may happen. It may not. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh.
But I hope it does because I would still like a printed copy of my own self.
It would be
We'll
nice.
see about that.
Yeah.
But don't wait for that, y'all. Go ahead and grab your copy for it. Don't wait for that.
She really meant what she said when she said be authentically you.
I have learned. Like I harness the power of no often.
Yes.
Y'all even know we're in groups and you guys stay muted for weeks. And I always pop in and look at it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, authentically, I can't be present. So
no.
Yeah.
No.
That's it. Yeah.
I respect you so much for that. You know what you need to do. It's for you.
Yeah, and you guys know if you need me, tag me. If I'm tagged, I will always go and look. If you send me a DM, I will always check that DM. Like
she's spitting facts right now. I know how to find her. Yes,
she responds, y'all. She responds.
She does. You gotta.
She does. She does.
But you gotta put my name in direct message. Though, I might not see it otherwise. Y'all know y'all talk a lot. What I am mainly doing right now, since I'm not focusing on poetry, is coaching. I do confidence coaching, and that is a really, really big deal to me because it is so many. Okay, let me specify. I do confidence coaching for women and girls. I have had dudes ask, I don't do that. I don't play them kind of games. I know my limitations. I ain't messing with y'all. Tell you that right now.
You make me feel like a man.
Not with the voice, though. The voice.
That came out, right?
Ben.
I still have my Jehovah voice from QCS3.
I'm just saying. Let's just make that clear, okay? Make it clear. Don't be sending me no dude clients. I'm gonna pass them around right back out my DM. Like,
no, women only. Women
and girls only. Okay, I don't play them games.
Let me put that in the chat. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Women only.
Hashtag know thyself.
That took a crazy turn. Yes, it did.
Oh, crazy.
Escalated quickly.
Well, we got Jaquan. Jaquan was a coach. Maybe if you're out there.
Jaquan is not trying to coach no men.
Jaquan
ain't trying to coach no men.
No.
So I have a 6-week program. It used to be 4 weeks, but it's a 6-week program now called Q Curvy and Confident, where I focus on helping women grow their authentic and confident self. We meet once a week via Zoom. I open it a couple times a year. I'm going to open up the next one in August. We're going to start working together in September. And then this season, I'm also doing Q Curvy and Confident Miss for ages 16 to 24. Because if we start earlier, then we don't have to work on it later. So, we're going to do the earlier, younger version. That's also going to launch in September. So I'm working on those 2 things. Otherwise, a few digital products and ebooks. I'm working on a journal with two journals. One of them is called the Audacity to Love Myself Like This. It's a journal for people to write in every day. It's going to be a self-confidence boosting journal. And the other one is called When I Wake Up. to help people with organizing their thoughts at night so they can be ready for the next day when they start. So a lot of projects that I'm working on. It's things that are like I'm working on passion projects these days. I still have to work my 9 to 5 until, you know, somebody comes up trying to pay my rent.
There you go.
Until that happens, I still got to work the 9 to 5, but I'm trying to, you know, add on to that with things that I really, really,
and you
really
also
enjoy.
are doing makeup classes too. You still do your 30 for 30?
So
Not
no.
really. Okay.
Well, real funny thing about that. So I did post in my stories. I'm like, hey guys, you know, I'm a makeup artist for television and film, so I still do projects for makeup. I still do like weddings and one-on-one things. But I was like, okay, let me do another 30 for 30, which is my $30 makeup class that happens online. And all these people were like, yeah, we want to do it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, what dates do you want? Here's 3 different dates. What you want? We want this date. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do 2. You guys want all these dates? I'm going to give them to you. Clear the calendar. Put it up. Nobody bought a ticket. Nobody. Not a one.
Man.
But here's the thing, right? I'm a believer in being your authentic self. So in the moment, maybe you got hyped with me and you wanted to do it, and for whatever the reason you couldn't. That's okay. But all it tells me is that that's not what y'all want from me right now.
Right.
Yeah. So that's cool. I won't offer it. No love lost. You got to grow and learn. You know what I mean? That's like when I said right and you might suck.
Yeah.
I don't suck at makeup, but you know, maybe right now people have other priorities than doing a makeup class online. I 100% understand that. So instead of focusing my attention on that, maybe once or twice a year, I'll do a makeup pop-up. And if it's well represented, you know, we'll try it again. But I have enough stuff to focus on that people who really are like reaching out and saying, hey,
clearly have
I need to feel better about myself. And so for people who join Cute, Curvy, and Confident, one of the days is a makeup class. So I'm doing it that way. And then I'll have one-offs, you know, here and there. If somebody's like, hey, look, I really need this, or I'm trying to do a makeup party at 5. We can work something out.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right, my love. So last question. Can you share something with us? You want to spit a little something for us tonight?
Yes. So.
Yeah.
You did tell me that last night, and I was like, okay. Today I had this poem rolling around in my head, and I was like, you know what? I've had this thing on my heart. I'm gonna put it on paper, and I'm gonna share it tonight.
Hey.
There we go.
It's still on my heart. It never made it to paper. I can't share it tonight. Authentic.
I was like,
right
there. I was like, what?
I know. I'm like, so look, I'm gonna need you to do something else so I can say it out loud again when I get it done, because it's really good, but it's not ready. So what I am gonna do though, since we were talking about banter and bourbon, my book, and I'm talking about the confidence classes and everything that I'm doing, I want to read Dear Dope Chick.
Okay.
I don't get a chance to share that often, and it's one of my favorites in the book.
I like that one. Yes.
All right. So I'll end my little set on Dear Dope Chick.
Okay.
Which also isn't 100% memorized, because like I said, I'm not doing that these days.
Oh, ain't nothing been memorized today, but go ahead.
Girl. Okay. Dear Dope Chick, from one to another, let me assure you that I see you. Recognize your God-given responsibility to be you. And even though he act like he ain't know, he knew, sis, so do you. Unapologetically. Sometimes you gotta let it be what it is. Whether you're a mama trying to raise the kids, wanna be a missus, still a Ms, still out here handling your biz, you're a whiz with all that you juggle. Men don't always understand the struggle, but I do. Dear Dope Chick, this is for you, you fly. And even when you low, you still high. Galaxies orbit in your eye, carry the whole world on your thigh. Oh my Dope Chick, you are a ship. Birthed every man on your hip, fed the whole world from your nip. So please don't you ever forget, you are a queen. We were born to be loved supreme, so it's okay. You can dream. It's okay. You can dream. Dear Dope Chick, you can dream even a dream that might scare you. A thought that might even dare you to do something you never even imagined. You can fathom the fathomless. Imagine for the imagineless. Oh, Dope Chick, you might fall, but what if you soar? And you might trip, but still, what's more, you are resilient. Brighter than a diamond. You're brilliant. And I couldn't recite a million reasons why you're dope, but it only really matters if you know your potential. The opposite of inconsequential. You matter. You are the opposite of inconsequential. You matter, and never let them tell you otherwise. You matter. Never let them make you feel otherwise. No matter the color of your eyes, the width of your hips, the size of your cup, the fullness of your lips, you matter and you're dope. You matter, and I hope you understand the power of your dopeness. Was never to be focused on your physical. Dear dope chick, never be typical, be amazing. Whatever you are becoming, be amazing. Whatever you are creating, be amazing and true. Dear dope chick, I see you. Dear dope chick, I love you. Dear dope chick, this is for you. You fly.
You don't even have to unmute.
Everybody got music on, make some noise.
Man, when you say you are a ship and you birth BERTH,
Every
Girl,
single
from the
man.
hip and the nip. What?
Wow.
You are a ship. Birth
Fly,
every man
y'all.
on your hip, fed the whole world from
Yeah.
your nip. Yes,
and listen,
ma'am.
and that's just one poem in her book.
And that's
Please
right.
go and
Oh,
find
my
her, lalovely.com. That was
Thank
awesome.
you. Or Instagram.
Thank
Just
you.
hit the link in bio.
Hit the link in the
Appreciate y'all
bio.
so much.
Love you, girl. I
Love you,
appreciate you
fam.
being part of the fam.
Thank you so
Always,
much.
we
Thanks
appreciate
for
you
having me.
so much. Love you.
Yeah. Bye.
See you
All
later.
right, guys.
Bye.
So you know, La Jones never disappoints, whether she hosts or does her poetry or just shows up and flashes her little
I'm
signature
like Jaquan. I don't
smile.
know how to get off this thing now.
Oh,
You
my
need to.
goodness.
Do I need to throw you out?
Oh,
Yeah,
So
y'all gonna-
funny.
Y'all gonna have to kick me out.
I have to kick her out, y'all. That's
Oh
terrible.
boy.
I seen her look.
I had to kick her out. Look at that. She's like, I'm just gonna sit here.
I'm just
All
gonna
right,
I like to,
All right.
so he's like,
she's amazing. She's amazing, and I appreciate you,
Love
La.
La.
Oh yeah.
Been running with La now for over a decade, and that's my girl. That's my girl. So I keep losing my earpiece.
Yeah. Say what's going on over there.
The earpiece is like enough.
Discombobulated.
It's been over an hour. Okay, so let me answer a couple of questions
Yeah, a
real
couple
quick.
questions came through.
Let's see. Question was, do you feel that reopening City Series and opening up to more friends has helped you build up your local congregation? I thought that was a nice question. I want to definitely say yes. I feel like there's a lot of people in my local hall that did not know that I did poetry. And now they're a part of everything that we do. They support. They stay to the bitter end. You know what I'm saying? Like even with the last QCS3, we had friends on that stood all the way to the end of Monty's set, which didn't end so like I don't remember what time in the morning it was, but you know, I think that it has also inspired other people. I have a young one in my hall who is 5, if I'm not mistaken. She might be 4. Maybe she's 5.
Oh, wow.
And she has now started to write poems. So we also had a next gen set at QCS3, which was from young people who are seeing their parents write and perform more often. And they wanted to start writing their own poems. And so you've got like a whole other new generation coming out that I think is benefiting from these new shows and what's happening with City Series. So I just want to say that I definitely feel like it has definitely helped to build up a lot more friends and give them something to do, you know, and inspire them. So I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to do one more question before I do my part. And it's, when you are writing, do you hear or feel a rhythm? I hear music when words are spoken. Do one of you want to take that?
Absolutely. 100%. It's sometimes, I know for me, I'll even put on instrumentals, music. I mean, I'm in a process of now of creating my own music, creating my own beats. But just having that rhythm there, you just get into the mindset. Even when I'm just writing, I'll hear the cadences. I'll hear just how I want it to go. And once you catch that rhythm, that's when the process gets more or less seamless at that point. So absolutely, you absolutely catch the rhythm.
What about you, Day?
I honestly did not realize that I had a rhythm or flow until I met Alpha Betty. I don't know if y'all know
I
her, but
don't
she
know if
was
she's
talking
on
to
here
me.
tonight. She might be though.
Yeah, she was talking to me one day. She was like, "Dad, you got this little thing that you do," and you like, and I was like, and so the more and more I write, I'm like, "Oh snap, I do," and it's crazy. I had an idea of writing something with Jay, and we haven't written it out, but I already had this tune in there, and so you can be like, and then drop out, and he's like, "Okay," I'm like, I gotta write it so he can just really see my vision. But yeah, I do. I hear music or I hear, a cadence to it before I get to write. And sometimes, not all of them, but yeah, some of them.
All right. So, is it my go?
Without
So wait a
without
minute.
further
So
ado,
there you go, Deja. There you get her now.
right? Excuse me. We want to
Right.
introduce you to the poet who didn't know it. I'm sorry, but
Was in denial of it
right?
for
I
years.
love that. I love that. The poet who didn't know it. Oh, that's awesome. All right, go ahead.
Because I said that because we already talked about it a little bit, y'all. How she
I
just
lost
been
my
for a
earpiece
long time
again.
irritating us.
My
While she
earpiece
gets
keeps
ready.
falling out. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. What?
What's going
Can I
on?
help you? What?
What's happening?
I'm sorry. I'm here.
You good? Okay, I
I'm
got
here. I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I
So
said that
unprofessional.
because you have frustrated us in many chats.
Yes.
People have even said it in here how you claim
Yes.
that, but I remember some people don't know, but I didn't looked up the definition of poet, and it literally, and I sent it to Esme so she knows, but it said it's a person who writes a poem. Okay,
All right.
all right. So without further ado, we're gonna introduce you to Esme City, Esme
Esme
City, or
City.
Esmika.
Yeah.
Esmeralda.
No, no, and no to you both.
There you go.
Going to the intro music. Where's DJ Khaled when you need
No, no,
Khaled?
no. None of that. All right. All right. This piece is old to me, new to you. All right. It's called Keep It Realitis. I was like, what?
Let's go.
Keep it realitis, okay? All right. You keep it real. Real talk. You keep it 150 degrees above all illogical, unscriptural, unbelievable nonsense, and you opt for the truth. You are remarkably true, and I respect you. I respect real because real is rare. The word is overused, overemphasized, and oververbalized too many times everywhere, thrown around so much, I'm starting to lose touch of what real really means. Because I used to think that real meant honesty, rawness of words and emotions and epiphany. I used to think real was individuality. But these days, the word is associated with fast-talking masses of tactless actors who act as if rashness and overconfidence is evidence of their authenticity, and it is a tragedy. And the world standards of realness are so far from real, it's practically lost its appeal. What is real? It no longer looks like who you are, but rather what you've contracted. It's a sickness. And this virus, it keeps changing and creating variants from China all the way down to the Delta. It's an outbreak. And just like Ebola, it takes over the host and almost, if not most of all they come into contact with, and it mutates. And it forms new strands, boarding planes, trains, and ships, changing many hands, traveling through different lands, only to wash up on the shores of our organization, our clean organization that's based on truth. So if we originate with the truth and we live by the truth, and we in fact epitomize the definition of real, how can it possibly affect us? Because it is more powerful than we thought it was. It is more invasive, potent, and dangerous. A killer of spirituality. It's treacherous. Because it takes a perfectly good Christian and makes them unrecognizable. It's a disease. And it has a name. Keep it real-itis. So, what does it mean? How do you know if you have it? How do we recognize it? Let's WebMD it. Keep it realitis. It's the desire to be more real than righteous, the need to be more honest than modest, the lack of constraint to be something it ain't, the outpouring of words that should never be heard, a proud obliteration of morality and maturity to prove you are not detached by the stinging scent of purity, to convince those who are not staying permanently of your openness and inherited flaws mentally, this lack of common sense that stunts us among the masses where you're constantly giving passes for causing fellow believers distress, because you demand their forgiveness for spiritual realness, even though your disease is contagious. In its earliest phases, it only shocks and amazes purer hearts and restrictive consciences, leaving an impression that somehow they're the problem, that they are the diseased ones, and that you are perfectly fine. In its subsequent stages, it continues to grow and disfigure its carrier into someone no one knows. It latches onto a community of similar ones who suffer from it. It spreads through cell phones, social media, and the internet. In this stage, you start to alienate your friends. See long-standing friendships come to an end. Following wisdom from weak-minded peers and not the scriptures, painting a very sad, confused, and desperate picture.
Oof.
And in its terminal stage, right before it takes your spiritual life, it transforms you into someone no longer recognized, leading a double life, confusing those on the outside, rejecting the voice inside, turning your once flawless conscience into something useless. And for realness, you caused your death? Was it really worth it to you? So again, I ask you, what is real to you? Your realness is a privilege, not a weakness. A heavenly gift that would never make you sick. You see, you were given the vaccine to fight this disease. A spiritual cocktail that will not fail to help you build up the antibodies to balance realness with meekness. And that is not just real. It's real, rare, and righteous. The type of realness that puts others above you so that you actually care about the next person rather than focusing on self-care, self-love, and self-gratification. So I urge you to be on the lookout for the symptoms. Recognize the signs. Take your spiritual medicine and feed yourself on those 9 essential vitamins prescribed in Galatians so that you can succeed in fighting this illness, this disease that murders your innocence, a spiritual killer that attacks your senses and renders your dignity useless. Keep it real, itis.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just gonna leave. I'm done. like, why? How? As
How?
Breaking up a little bit, but
Sitting around a poem that was sitting around for almost a decade and needed to be brought into the current.
wait, what?
The current.
How long? How long?
Almost a decade. Yeah. Almost a decade. Deja is frozen.
Deja's frozen.
Yeah, we lost Deja.
You know, JQ, he put a yeah, we definitely lost him now.
Yeah, we lost her.
He put a comment in there, and it was really apropos with, you know, something that I haven't seen you do with your poetry and work. You hit that gas, you stepped on that gas mid poem and just ran it, just ripped it. Like, where did this come from? Wait a minute.
Have you ever looked up an illness or some kind of condition on the internet, and the more you read about it, the more shocked you become?
Yeah, because I'm about to die. Yeah.
It happens to me all the time. So when I wrote it, I just deliberately imagined me reading it that way. Like, I'm just going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and get more and more shocked the more I read, you know, and then find out how it ends, you know, how it starts and then the middle and then the ending, you know. So yeah. So that was what that was about.
The way it travels, the Ebola, the mutants, all
Because
of
at
that.
the time,
Like,
the only thing that was in that poem was about Ebola, and then I started in this version. I talked about variants.
yeah, yeah, that
Come on,
WebMD run,
WebMD,
it
right?
just
Come
that
on,
was yeah,
He was
WebMD.
like WebMD. I'm
that
like, no.
did. Like, all
And
right,
we
she
heard
about to.
your mid speed. It's like you stepped on the gas. Jaquan said it was like she just stepped on the
Sorry about
gas
that.
mid. Oh,
All right, y'all. Well, I got that out. I'm happy that's over with.
thank
So,
you. Thank you.
are we going to bring in our girl,
Bring
Leanne?
her on in. Bring her on in.
Come on, Lee.
Tamale. Man, my mic isn't working.
Okay.
What you doing
Oh,
over there, Dan?
No, I'm
what
saying,
did I do?
no, I'm saying,
Oh,
man,
there it
my mic
is.
wasn't working. I got my stand here and
Oh,
everything, but it wasn't working.
oh, it's clear. Leanne.
Lee.
Baby girl.
What's up, Lee Lee?
How are you?
What up,
We're
baby girl?
Oh, I'm so happy to see your faces. Oh my gosh.
We're happy to see your face.
yeah,
Always so happy. Leanne is always happy.
Yes,
yeah.
she is.
Always happy.
She's our ray of sunshine.
Yes, we love you. And might I add that, like we didn't really do a rehearsal with the ones that we're interviewing, and y'all came in correct, lighting, everything. So this is CSW, what we have done to each other. We be ready. Like we just already know what to expect. I'm just saying, you look good, girl. You look good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I
All
am
right.
interviewing my beautiful friend Leanne. Honestly, I was thinking about this. I was like, I don't know if we would have met any other way through City Series. I'm not sure. I don't know, but I don't think so. Y'all, Leanna's one of my favorite people. You really have to have one of her in your life. I'm just saying. She is the most vibrant person I know, and she's the most loyal. Okay. And she will always support you through anything. I say that because when I moved to New York, I was trying to find my way around this bigger city life, and this girl was like, dang, let's get together. And she would travel to me. Okay, she traveled to me from Jersey on the train. We would explore New York City, get a bite to eat. We went to these restaurants, and those are that was outside of City Series. Okay, so you are developing friendships even when you come to our events, but then you cultivate them even outside. And so I just wanted to give that intro to my girl. I'm not crying, but try not to. I know. But we have cried together, I'm just saying.
Oh,
All right. Shout out to Lauren holding me and pushing up mascara. But anywho, we're going to stay focused. All right. So my question is to you, because I really didn't know, is when did you get like involved with City Series, and like why are you still with us? We're crazy.
it's so sorry, because I'm not a poet. Just to answer one of the questions that was earlier, no, I am not a poet. Ever. No, I love poetry, but no, I do not perform. I don't even write. But so New York City Series, October 2011 was my first City Series. But because I live here, I'm like, oh, it's just another party, whatever. I'm gonna show up, whatever. And then the week of Esme, I don't know if you remember, but you hit me up and was like, these people are coming and they don't know where to go. Can you help me find where for them to go? And I couldn't find nothing either. I was like, Esme, give them my address and tell them to come. And I don't know.
Didn't know them from Adam.
What?
Just like, come on to my house. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yes.
Which, matter of fact, Darren, you know them because they're from Philly. And they came to my porch, and I was like, hi, I'm Leanne. They were like, hi, I'm such and such and such and such. And then I was like, okay, so I guess we're going to go to the parties together. And then I was like, okay, so I went to the party. I was like, oh, this is great. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. So that was City Series, but then I was like, there was another City Series, which the next one was Chicago. So I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go to Chicago, and I think was my first like solo trip that I booked and got a flight on my own and all that stuff. So it was me and two of my closest friends, and we got on a flight and we went.
Shout out to Kalea. And was it Kalea and Priska? That was the two people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
we went, and Esme was like, "Can you help me with this?" I'm like, "Okay, sure, no problem." Mind you, I did go to school for hospitality with sub and event planning and restaurant management, so I was
There it
excited.
is.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And she's like, "All right, I need this. I need that. Okay, okay, cool. Let's do this. Nope, we gotta do it. This. Okay, all right, cool." I had no problems. I was interested. I was down, and everybody had such a big heart. Like, and it was nothing to help out. Like, you need my help? I'm down. Let's go. Oh, we gotta run from wherever in Chicago to wherever in Chicago. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. So, and then after that, it just kept going, kept going. New Orleans, Atlanta, LA, Miami, the cruise, everything. I was just like, "Hey, you need help with anything? All right, let's go. Let's go." I was ready. And the common theme behind it of why I'm staying is because it's my family. I became a part of a family that I would not have, like you said, met any other way.
Yeah.
So it just, everybody was, like you said, very upbuilding. So it was nice to be around a group of people like that. And then, like I said, Esme needed anything. If she said, "I need you to drain the Pacific Ocean so that we can put 5 tables in there and set up a stage for 60 people," I would have been like, "All right, let me go." Because I could call.
She made it, and that was just so crazy because it's like that was just you. Like that was you're the very few people I knew like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was authentic. That's just who you are. You still are. You're still that way.
Yeah. And I love that about you. You know that I'm always checking up on you. We've done service together. Really, just even when you had some big announcements for me, you drove. Thankfully, you drove to tell me, in person. It was emotional, but it was nice. You'd have been in my house. That's when you know you got family. Folks in your home, okay? We in your home together. I'd have been in Darren's place and his parents with Esme. Like we family. Like this is real. So
that's it.
It's been beautiful. And I don't think I mentioned to anybody, but we call her our check-in girl, but she's really just everything for us. And she don't play. If you ain't on the list, she ain't letting you in. She like, "Who is this? Who is it?" Like, there's a registration process for a reason. Like, some people do. No, we make sure we're checking names. And Leanne don't play. We would work together before in the in-person events. We'd be like, "Hold on, step to the side. Yeah, you ain't on the," like, it's serious out here. But like, we really appreciate you. So we've been experiencing so much together. So what has been your most favorite experience with the City Series family?
So my favorite City Series experience is funny. It goes back to another earlier question that was asked was age limits, and the answer to that, absolutely not, because I am one of those people that brought my mama to party with me. And
me too.
One of my favorite City Series was hands down New Orleans. That was my first trip to New Orleans, and my mom was dancing in the booth, and she's like, "Oh, DJ Galia, yeah, that's my guy." And she was like, "Let's go in this store, let's go get the food, da 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 da, everything." And that was the first trip I actually took my mom, and I paid for the trip. So I was like excited. And then she got to meet everybody face to face. The ones that don't live in this area, because some people once again have came here and got to meet my mom outside of City Series. But when she got to travel, she loved it. One of her favorite ones was also Orlando, when we had
our reunion.
That was good.
Everybody's house and all of that other stuff, and it was great, because we had Esme empanadas, and
those empanadas.
Y'all and these empanadas, oh my goodness.
Listen, I mean, was you there, Leah? Was you in our house when somebody tried to take our empanadas out the house?
Yes.
It was crazy. Nook was there. It was a crazy day. It was crazy.
There was some fighting about to happen.
Right. That's how deep it was. We wanted that. We slaved for the empanadas. Okay, you had an assembly line for us. Okay,
pretty much.
I ran into a door for those empanadas, but anyway. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Sorry. Like friendships definitely grew outside of City Series. I took me and my brother took a flight down to Memphis to go see Esme, and we were there for like 40 hours. We wasn't even there for a day. We flew down and came back home. Oh my goodness. It was, you know, the friendships that you do gain from City Series.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change any of it for.
Aww. I love you. Thank you, Leanne. Like, this is really special because sometimes, like, we talk about everybody, but now you guys are really able to see some of their faces, like, who helped. Like, I know you guys hear about our team and we mention each other's names, but, like, it's a big team that we have, y'all. Like, Leia's in here, Monty, our DJs. We've had DJ None, Callie, DJ Spa. We've had so many DJs, and, like, that's a family. That's a team, all of us, you know, like, the wives of people in the on the teams, it's a family though, like it's family, and everybody steps up, so it's a pretty big deal. So thank you, Lily. Appreciate you for coming out.
And we wanted to include you because we not just so you can, you know, reflect on the history that you have with us, but also because you are you're an instrumental part of the whole operation. Like the way we look at you guys that help us is that if it wasn't for y'all, nothing would work. Like we would not be able to do the things that we do. So having you guys on our team and being part of it is not just because we love you as an individual and as our sister, but we just want to tell you thank you because of you people like yourself. We have developed a reputation for doing things the right way. And it's not because we are personally doing it, it's because the whole team is committed to doing it. So we just wanted to give you your flowers tonight.
Yes.
And say thank you for being a part.
Thank you.
And thank you for all you've done over the years, from the first time you opened your door to some strangers to helping out with our last PCSW3. Seriously, like you rock. And the comments clearly support that.
Yeah, Leanne is the gatekeeper. So if you cannot get in, she's not letting you in. She's told.
And I know that she was here earlier. I'm not sure if she's still on here, but Jacqueline Perez has also been very instrumental as well. She wasn't able to join us on the last one, but her and Leanne were our permanent check-in girls. And I think Leanne, Jackie may have one or two City Series on Leanne, but Jackie and Leanne were without fail. Every time, every City Series, I'm there. And we just love you guys so much. So thank you.
I love you.
I love you guys so much more.
Thank you.
It was good seeing you.
Good seeing you, Leanne.
Let's see if she knows how to get out.
Show them how.
I don't know. She can do it. I have confidence in her.
Second girl, come on.
She's pushing a lot of buttons
on Zoom.
I know, right? All right, so I got two last questions for the evening that have come in. One is, will there ever be an amateur poet event?
Amateur? What's amateur? Anyway.
Yeah.
Like amateur.
We do pop-ups. I mean, when we do pop-ups, you can perform.
Yeah. We don't look at one real quick. That's a good point. I'm going to spend 30 seconds on this. A huge misconception with City Series is that we only allow certain people on and only certain poets can get this and get. No, it's a time frame that we have to stick to. But your work is your work. Like La said earlier, if you're your authentic self, you have a voice. I can't constantly preach I am free and be free and muzzle somebody else's freedom of speech. So this word amateur, there is no such thing. Take that out of the vocabulary. There is no such thing as amateur. When we have pop-ups, when we have things, make sure you're following CSW Family page, my page, Deja's page. When we have events, things like that, come support it. we'll definitely put it out there. Come support it, and that'll be your chance to put your work out there. I mean, after the QCSW3, like they say, I mean, our inbox were filled with just people just inspired to write.
Yeah. Yep. Inspired to write. That's how it happens too.
So
And
yeah, that whole amateur theory just
mhm.
never.
And we have an announcement about that coming here at the end here soon. Okay, and the last question is going to be: have you experienced not having a good response to a particular piece from the friends, and how do you handle it? We screen our poets, so we have not had too many problems with people who have done pieces that would probably offend. We didn't used to screen them as much in the very beginning when we were doing our live shows, but then we started to. But we do screen our poets. We don't want anyone to come on there and, like La said, I can't censor your writing, but I can censor my stage. And so our stage needs to be censored, and the only way to do that is to make sure that that every poet that's going to perform submits their piece. Even the ones that have been doing this forever have to submit their piece. We want to hear it. We will sometimes even offer a suggestion, like, tell them, hey, maybe this line might be a little too much, or, maybe you might want to change that a little bit, or somebody might submit 3 or 4 pieces and say which one do you like?
Do that one.
And we'll say, okay, this one might be a little bit too controversial. And again, we don't take away from their writing, but it just depends on what they're doing. Yeah. So we do screen our poets, so we haven't had any bad responses.
And your poem is held confidential. Like once it's screened, it's only held with us. Like it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't. We don't share with. No, we're the only ones at that time that will hear your piece. So don't even worry about that.
So you can pass it on to us, and we'll be right there. It'll be cool. So I think that's it. So I need to end this with my lovely sister.
Wait, whoa. How you introduce? You introduce me. How you introduce her? Like, how does work? How you introducing 2 people?
Are we gonna fight? Are we gonna fight over her? Because I
didn't want to bring the chat to live now.
I think I knew her long.
I'm gonna let Darren do that. Go ahead, Darren. Introduce your baby sis.
So, without further ado, my little sister, we came in the City Series game together. We still rocking this thing together 10 plus years later. Couldn't be more proud of you and the woman that you've become and everything you've been accomplishing with your wordplay, even just with your poetry alone. Just that. So, without further ado, Daylight X.
Oh, thanks, guys. So sweet. All right, so I don't know if you heard this poem. I know S has. But it's called Sis. And, it's going to be explanatory when I get into it. So, Sis. Sis. How come you don't like me? I mean, like, did I look at you funny? Sis. And how come you talk about me? And not in a nice way. Because if it was, I wouldn't question it like Jesus did in the temple. It seemed simple, but I felt the need to ask, sis, how come you sit at the opposite end? I mean, we used to be Siamese, but it's like your actions performed a surgery, sis. I still remember your number in my heart because I've been calling it since before speed dial, but it seems our love has dialed back. Reply back, did you get my text, sis? I saw you the other day, but I couldn't say hey. See, I was busy. Well, not really. I just couldn't face the pain of our lack of communication because I know it's a conversation that needs to be had, sis. It's just, I'm tired of being a peaceful one all the time, the bigger person, because it hurts when you wouldn't try to fix things as much as I would, sis. I blocked you on all platforms. See, my memories of us are hindered with resentment. They've been broken like a sister's heels at a convention, sis. My thoughts create anger. I'm mad if I hear your name come up. I even scoff when I hear you comment, sis. And that dress you wore last week was skimpy. You used to counsel me about my look, but look at yourself with your own rafters, sis. I mean, the gossiping, you not trusting me with confidential things. I mean, why would you spread my privacy to a third party, sis? I know you'd have heard me the first time. Or is it that you chose to decline because you don't want to get into it with the response? I mean, am I the nuance, sis? And I've been going back and forth thinking, we've all got issues. But I don't think I'm the problem. It's you, sis. And could you be a little bit more sensitive with your words? Because your words can hurt. And you may see no problem with your words, but it's like a tornado. See, I feel hit from all angles. And I can't stop them words from coming out, but I take a defense to your defensive speech. And no, I don't know what you really mean, sis. Objects appear closer than what they seem. But my objective is to find a lesson within our friendship. I mean, are you an associate spoiling my useful habit, sis? But I remember the good times. Our laughs and interactions. I mean, what happened, sis? Maybe it was me. Maybe it was something I said. Or maybe it was my facial expressions, sis. I catch your shade under these trees, and even amongst the humidity, you still find a way to humiliate me. And when I'm talking to Nina, you got to hand over the ranks. Because Eodia sent a key for Rachel to lead her to A-Girl in a disagreement with Sarai, sis. And I don't want a virus to keep me silent. To the point where we have to see each other in the resurrection. See, I want to mend this, draw a conclusion, come to a stop with the illusions and prove them wrong, sis. Because what we had was great. And I would hate to end our friendship because we didn't communicate, sis. That's it.
What?
Yeah. It's like that. You never heard this piece, Darren?
No.
That's because you be going to sleep at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I'll be waking up to like a million messages. I'm like, who's the fire at? No.
Yes,
I
you've
missed
done this
one.
piece before. Yes. You know what I just heard tonight? I heard the issue is it's you. I love that. I love that.
The Broken Hills at the convention almost took me out. Like that.
Yeah.
What?
And the shade under the trees, man. Listen.
Even in the humidity, you got to humiliate me. Like this. It's just,
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
That's my favorite part. I don't know. It came to me a long time ago, just about, we got sisters and we got friends and, we go through things and sometimes we just don't communicate. And I had to let it out, feeling like really back in, like I love my sis. But that's one of my favorite parts is that humidity. Because I said you got to humiliate me when I'm talking Panina. You got to hand over the ranks because Yodia sent the key. Oh man, it's just
It's not only bar heavy. It's spiritual, but it's so
isn't it always with her? It's always with her and Jamin. It's like
put together like that's what it is. It's Jamin's.
They did their personal study.
All the ingredients are there. Like that's a family worship piece. Like stop.
That is a family worship piece. That is a family.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I love that you said I'm not gonna let this virus what is it? I'm not gonna let the virus end this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We demand this.
Yeah.
Because I like that you said that because we are supposed to try to work out the differences with people and we don't come together and so we might be like, well no, we'll have to wait or So I like
I'm big on that though. Like that poem was like really me because many people who are friends with me know, I've even reminded my friends, I'm like, hey, if you got a problem with me, please come to me. Please, because I know some friends out there, they take offense to someone coming to them and not for lack of a better word, making mistakes, and I could be improving myself a long time ago. If you had just told me, hey, you doing this, but it actually hurts my feelings. And I know I'm laughing, but it really hurts, so say something like that. That's me. And I always want I'm like, hey, if I did something, please give me the opportunity to fix it instead of, you going to tell the world or, you being angry with me. Or stop a friendship with me. Because sometimes people will just stop altogether. I ain't talking to her. And then you're wondering, why why are my phone dry? Like, we used to talk all the time, you know? So, yeah.
No, that's so true. And that's, you know what? And I think that's a big part of, just the CSW family. I mean, how many times have we constantly disagree? Like a lot of the ones looking in here do not understand just the behind the scenes and the constant back and forth banter and battling that we really go through, just like a family does. But it's all for the benefit of everybody here. It's all for the benefit. Okay, how can we make this a nice, clean, good show that everybody's going to enjoy? But guess what? We gonna have some fire up here too. We gonna have some fire artists. We gonna have some dope music. We gonna have some dope singers. We gonna make this a whole event. And sometimes in those, we all have creative mindsets. We're all artists, so we all have that creative mindset. And sometimes it clashes. A lot of times it clashes. But we get through it, and we can have events like this. And that was
get past it.
we just get past it. And that was really just one of those things that, for many, during this, pandemic and just everything that's been going on this last year and a half, that was one of the benefits that came out of it that we experienced, really coming together. Like, as we said at the outset of the history, like, it kind of died down a little bit. So coming back together, opening that communication up. I mean, we all had things, so many things going on in our lives, but this happened. Okay, well, what do we do? Is it time to bring it back together? With so many events going on, is it time to bring it back together? Now we're talking pretty much every day about, okay, what's next? Even just about check-ins. How you doing today? How you feeling today? How's everything going on down there? Where do you go? So that was definitely a huge benefit that we've experienced with that. Poetry. Let's just get even into that. So many projects have been going on with not only just us three, but if you've been out there and wanting to write, but not understanding or knowing how to get into it or what to do, what should I write, this has opened that door to so many that have written years ago that came back to it and, started performing. This may have been the first stage where they have been on a stage to perform. They may not know what a live performance is, but, Zoom, I got that. I've been out the game for years. So, the benefits of this unfortunate circumstance that we're in has really, in a lot of ways, outweighed the unfortunate circumstance that we're in, and it has been a huge encouragement. I know, just speaking for me personally, the encouragement that has come out of it, strictly in a poetry sense, that iron sharpens iron. Lau said earlier, just hearing everybody's pieces, and when they drop something, you know what, that was dope. Okay, now I want to do something. Now I want to go into something. I just heard this day, just piece by page. I'm like, yo, where did this come from? You being stingy with your pieces again? Like, we talk about this. Stop being stingy with your pieces.
We talk about practice. We talk about practice.
Practice. Practice. But this
I just had a little humble pie. No.
Anyway, that's what this is about, and it's all about this. It's all about this constant banter, this fun.
Yeah.
If you've been a part of the QCSW3, with Lod, she is one of my favorite people to host with. Like, our energy and our back and forth is just amazing. I can't wait to get back on the stage and host it with Jaquan. Like, it's just the energy that we have together in this fun space. We're serious with it, but we keep it fun, and it's cautious, right? This is why we have gatekeepers like Leanne. This is why we have gatekeepers like Jackie. This is why we have, Chris and Mike and all these behind the scenes people that you guys don't get an opportunity to see. It's a whole team of at least, I would say, 20, 25 people.
A bunch of
Yeah.
people.
It's a bunch of people that make this process happen.
And do
But-
it for the love of it. Because I'll also add DJ Monty Spot of that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like, it's something when you can reach out to somebody and say, hey, can you help? And it's like, you can't even finish the sentence. Yeah, when? What you need me to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So we appreciate them so much. We really do.
Yeah, I mean,
Love you too,
everybody
Jaquan.
involved. Yeah, everybody involved. We definitely appreciate the help. All of you guys, we appreciate you constantly. Okay, well, when is the next one? What's going on? And wanting to be a part of it, keeping that energy going. Look, we're going to be in this thing for the foreseeable future. We don't know when we're getting out of this, unfortunately. But the unfortunality of it, I don't even know if that's a word, is
It is tonight.
it is tonight. We're going to make it work tonight. We're going to keep going with this. So the question is, what's next? Right? What's next? Okay. So the first thing that's next, we're going to go into, we talked about it a little earlier, but we're going to have a pop-up in September. If you're following it, make sure you follow the CSW family page. Make sure you follow my page. I'm free or I am free. I think as we tagged on a little earlier. Make sure you follow Deja's page. We're going to have a pop-up where somebody said about amateur poetry. Bring it. Bring it there. You know, there's still going to be a very organized event. That's how we do things. But that's your time. Bring it. So it will be sometime in September. We're about to start August, so you have about a month. Start getting some ideas together, getting your poetry together.
Yep.
Okay, date to be announced. So, yep. But make sure, here's the thing, the caveat to that. Make sure you're following the CSW family page more so directly, because the event will be on that page. It will be directed on that page. The date will be put on that page. So make sure you're following CSW Family. It will be at some point in September. So just watch for that notice. It will be posted. All right.
Yes.
So that's what's next in the direct future of what's next. What else we got going on, guys?
We got a ladies' night.
There you go. Go ahead.
Ladies' night number 4. Can I just say that I remember sitting on the couch talking to Esme, like, the banter going back and forth about, you know, what else could we do to get people involved, and we really wanted to showcase our sisters. So I can't believe we're on number 4 of our ladies' night. You know, it'll be exciting. I'm excited to showcase our sisters, you know, out here. They got something to say. All right. And everyone's different, you know, it's our minds. So many good writers out there. So we won't be announcing who will it be, but it could be you. You never know. Show up, show us. We're looking for new ones out there too, you know. So
can you give them the date?
Yes, that so pop-up is in September. We're doing October 15th, which is a Friday. Ladies Night Volume 4, number 4. October 15th. We'll be announcing the time and who the poets are. Our lovely Esme always makes a nice video, and we really try
to. Oh, yeah. Why not?
Start taking your pictures now for the flyer.
Am I doing what? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Okay, I'm sorry. And I'm not looking at you because I'm looking at my laptop. I'm looking at you guys on my laptop. All right. Hi, camera. And now the last announcement. Drum roll. QCSW4. All right. QCSW4 is going to be a weekend event. We have decided that we are going to branch the two things that we did in QCSW3 when we had a little bit of the children, we had a little bit of the music, and we had a lot of the poetry. We are going to have a 2-day weekend event, and it's kind of a throwback to the old CitySeries. So the way we used to do things was sort of a meet and greet on a Friday and then a main event on a Saturday. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a family night on a Friday. Family night is going to be music, some talent, and children doing their poetry, because that is something that I think everybody loved.
Everybody loved it.
For
Everybody loved it.
QCS3. It was a treat. It was, if you got there late, man, I hate that you got there late, because we're not going to publish the children's poems on YouTube. So I hate that you got there late and missed those beautiful kids, because they tore it up. Like, they were so talented.
Yeah,
and that was just and there was a lot of kids that were looking at that were like, oh,
I can
so
do
yeah.
that.
So so we need to create an event where we can showcase those babies, where we can showcase the talent that we have in our family. People were saying, do you have to be a poet? No, you can be talented. We are a community of talented brothers and sisters. That's what City Series family is. We're not just poets. We're writers. We're artists. We're creatives, right? So we want to celebrate those friends, and we want to put something together that everyone can sort of, put in their artistry, their creativity, and then keep poetry separate. We have gotten to the point where City Series and poetry are almost synonymous, and we love that about City Series. So we want to give you a full poetry event. We want to give you a top-notch, quality, completely poetic event. And we want to do that without anything else, right?
Right.
So that's what the plan is. And I'll give you the dates. The dates are going to be November 19th and 20th. We were going to shoot for the holiday weekend, but we decided not to, because we don't know what's going to happen that weekend, as far as work. People are in retail and they have crazy schedules. So we just forget that. A lot of people choose that holiday weekend to be with their family. Hopefully by then we can be with our family in a safe way. But for our virtual friends that we're still doing things virtually for the foreseeable future, we will be virtual, and it will be the weekend of November 19th and 20th. So just keep those dates in mind. We'll be announcing, putting them on the account and all of that good stuff. But yeah, we got a lot of things going on. So I just want to let you guys know. We wanted to let you guys know what was going on. But yeah, QCSW4 will be a weekend event. All right.
I'm excited. Woo woo.
Oh yeah, that's
Got a lot of
great.
things coming.
Yeah, a lot of things
Yeah.
coming. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned to that QCSW family page. That CSW family page. Everything's gonna be on there. All the dates gonna be posted on there. Everything is
Yeah.
that's gonna be your direct connect to everything
Yep.
happening.
We will get it
Thank
out
City
to you
Series.
guys for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
Thank
I
y'all
said,
for
we've been
rocking with
working.
us for so long.
We appreciate y'all kicking it with us tonight.
Right?
A lot of
Yes.
y'all hung in there. We had a
Yeah, we
consistently
appreciate
good
it.
crowd. A lot of
Yes.
crowd participation. We love you guys.
Yeah, you guys were
We
awesome.
appreciate
Thank you
you
so
guys.
much.
Thank you for rocking with us, and stay tuned. We got a lot more to come. All right.
Bye, y'all.
Good night,
Thank
guys.
you. Good night. How do I get out of here?
Tap the X.
Tap that
That's like the
I'll
theme.
see it.
That's like the